Welcome to Everyday Reviews. My name is Brian. If you're new to the channel, we actually feature a lot of different reviews, automotive, gadgets, cooking, travel, you name it, there is something for everybody. We put out new videos every week. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, make sure to check that channel out and hit that subscribe button. Give it a thumbs up, and you know what? Drop us a line in the comments section below. Well, today we are featuring the all-new BMW X3 M40i. On a recent video, we just featured the M240i, the two-door coupe, and in that video, you know what? I said it really brought back memories because I owned a 335 Xi coupe, and really, it was one of my favorite cars. So make sure, check out that video if you haven't watched it yet. It's a really cool color, by the way, but it's almost a deja vu right now because this vehicle really brings back memories as well, because when I got rid of my 335, what did I get into? I went into back-to-back BMW X3s, and they were the 35i model, meaning they had the twin power turbo 6-cylinder and one of the best engines out there. So really, this whole week has been just bringing back lots of memories. So let's start with this color. This is Tanzanite blue. Now, all BMW X3s in this flavor, standard color is white, and that's $0. All the other colors are metallic. They're $895, but this Tanzanite blue is a special color, and it's an extra $1,450. And remember, all these prices that I'm quoting you are Canadian dollars, and so make sure to check with your BMW website where you live, because the trims may be a little bit different and packages may be different. So these are the Canadian trims and prices that we're going to be talking about. Up front, you have the signature kidney grille, and you know what? I like it. It hasn't been overly modernized yet, not like that iX coming out. Yeah, it still looks very similar to my older BMW X3s. It's just a little bit more refined now. It looks a little more elegant. It's kind of like sports elegant in a way. A little bit of chrome here. You have that nice M badge here. This is not a true M vehicle. There is the X3M if you want to go for the ultimate in high performance, but when we get inside, you'll see this thing has plenty of performance. We have standard LED headlamps. There are many different wheel options, but standard are 20-inch wheels on the M40i. We have winter tires wrapped around these 20-inch wheels here. Nice use of black. We have black on the mirrors, black around the window surrounds, and black on the roof rail. I had that on my X3 as well. If you get the premium or premium enhanced package that comes with the comfort access, BMW system is very, very good. We have power folding mirrors. We just grab the handle, everything unlocks, and you can access it from both front or rear doors. And one nice thing that they've added to this comfort access in the past few years is automatic locking too. So you can just walk away and it'll automatically lock for you. Now if we head over to the back, the fuel filler, you'll see, no surprise, this takes 91 octane, the good stuff. First thing I noticed when I looked at the back of this X3, these taillights. They're pretty bold looking, especially they're quite wide here. They taper down here. They have some nice shape to them. They look very good at nighttime though. Then you have this rear valance. You have dual square exhaust tips for this. You have a roof spoiler. You got your rear wiper. This is equipped with a power tailgate with a hands-free option, so you can just kick or you can just squeeze the latch here. Now here's something interesting. In the back here, this is a compact SUV, remember. This is my cargo liner that I had from my old X3, and it fits in here absolutely perfect, as you can see here. So let's just take that out. All right, so here we have decent amount of room. We have a couple cubbies on each side. We have a 12-volt outlet. We have hooks. It's really, they really took all the goodness of the X3 that I had, and they knew that it worked. Even though it's compact, you can fit a lot in here. You have a very large squared off opening. I went fishing or crabbing actually one day, and so it took, you know, the cooler and all the traps and all that fishing stuff in here. And if you need more room, you can easily just fold the seats down just like that, and you pretty well have a nice flat surface. If you lift up the floor here, you'll notice there is no spare tire, but you do have a large storage area under here. Right now you have one bottle of oil in there, but yeah, that's a good place to put your things and hide them away. And if you want to hold that cover up, you can use one of those grocery hooks on the side. There is a Velcro loop there. There you go. And if you want to hide more, you can use the tonneau cover. So far, what do you think of this M40i? Personally, I like the styling. It's pretty conservative. It's not too wild. I love the color. Of course, I love blue. And now, if you're looking for a more rugged looking SUV and higher riding, this M40i is not going to be the one for you. As you can see, it's fairly low, has a very sporty stance to it. So yeah, this is all about the sport. Let's have a look inside and go for a drive. Inside this M40i, it kind of feels like home. It's, of course, a little bit more modern than our previous X3s were, but it still feels very similar. You have a good amount of room, even though this is in the compact class. Good shoulder room, good height room for your head here. I've always loved BMW's sport seats. This one's no different. Now, standard, you get leather. This one has the upgraded Oyster Vernesca leather, so it's just a higher quality leather. We also have heated seats. Now this one's also equipped with a few different packages and some different options. So, you know, check with, once again, your local website to see what you can package and add on to your X3. So this one has the premium enhanced package, which is basically the top package. You can get the digital cockpit professional, which we have here. So right now we have two 12.3-inch screens, one for the digital cockpit and one for the center infotainment system. This does have Apple CarPlay, wireless too, and Android Auto. This also comes in this package. You get the around view, like the surround view monitor. In the premium package enhanced, it also even comes with a drive recorder, and I think this is a great feature. So instead of having a third-party dash cam mounted on your window, I'm very familiar with that. I've got quite a few of them. It's built right into the vehicle, right above that rear view mirror. And what's nice is that it's always recording it, and you can set how many seconds ahead. So it's basically recording it into the cache memory. So if you have an accident, it goes back, you know, up to like 20 seconds prior to the accident, and you can set how long you want to record after the accident as well. So if you don't have an accident, for instance, though, and you just want to manually record, you just hit the camera button and hold it, and then you'll see a little record camera icon, and it'll just record however for like 20 seconds, however long you have it set for. So a really good feature, and I like that it's actually included in that package. Also, we have a head-up display. Now, one thing that I really like, and I said this on the M240i review as well, is BMW has made it so when you're using your Apple CarPlay, I'm not sure about Android Auto because I don't have an Android phone, but with Apple CarPlay, if I'm using maps and using navigation, not using the in-car navigation, but my own phone's navigation, then it actually relays that information into this actual digital cockpit, as well as you can have the turn-by-turn come up on your head-up display. So that's very normal if you're using the native application, the native navigation, but yeah, it's not that common to have it when you're using a third party like an Apple or Android device. So good job, BMW, for that. We have one of my favorite audio systems for a premium system, and that's the Harman Kardon system that the BMWs have. Great sounding stereo for the price, and that's included in this package as well. In the rear, we have manual sunshades. My old one didn't have that, but those seats back there, they provide decent room. I like the seating position of the X3. Remember, this is a compact vehicle. You do have an actual center air vent, which that is a great thing. A lot of vehicles don't have air vents in the back nowadays, and for smaller vehicles, and it's a big plus for the passengers. And we have the kids always in the back, so they don't complain. In the rear, we had the kids back there. Even I sat back there. There's decent amount of room. I sat in the back of our old X3 too, and it's surprising how much room they can get out of a compact vehicle. Also, this one's equipped with manual sunshades, which is a bonus. Now, those rear seats don't slide forward or back. However, this one is equipped. There's a button on the side, and you can go 5 or 6 degrees, recline forward or back, which is a big help. Also, one big plus, sometimes smaller vehicles nowadays, you don't find that they have air vents. This one has nice air vents right in the center, right there, so the rear seat passengers can still stay nice and warm or cool. So I think it's time to start this baby up. It agrees. It agrees with me. Let's go for a drive. Woohoo! Listen to that engine. This is the 3-liter inline 6 twin power turbo engine. One of my favorite engines of all time. I had it in my 335i, I had it in 2 X3s, except this one has even more power. So this puts out just over 382 horsepower and about 369 pound-feet of torque. That's matched to an 8-speed automatic transmission. What I like also, of course you have drive modes. We can go into sport, for instance. It's always fun going to sport. And you got standard, you got sport, individual. And one nice thing is that, for instance, if I go into sport, and I'm in Sport Plus right now, and I go back into comfort, next time when I go into sport, it defaults, it automatically, well not defaults, but it picks up where it left off. So it doesn't just start at sport and I have to actually cycle through. And the same goes for if I wanted to go to sport individual to have my own settings. When I hit that sport button, it's gonna go right back into there. Listen to the exhaust. When you let off, you get that great burble or gurgle, however you want to call it. This thing is no slouch either. 0 to 60, just over 4 seconds. And 0 to 100 kilometers is a couple tenths longer. That's about it. Listen. Oh, it sounds so good. Oh my goodness. I love how the head-up display on here, when you go into sport mode, you can configure however you want though, but you have a bar for your RPMs. Really easy to see. You don't have to look down at all and get your speed there, of course. Now the M40i slots nicely in between basically the base and of course the top dog, which is the X3M. But for most people, this will be plenty, more than enough for sure. So starting at the base, that comes with a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, and it puts out about 248 horsepower. It's good. It's a good engine. It's quite thrifty. Then you get into the 30e, which is the plug-in hybrid. Now, I read online that in the US, apparently that's being discontinued. In Canada, it still shows that you can still purchase that vehicle if you want to be really thrifty and get into the HOV lane for your commutes. That's a good choice as well. But none of them are going to replace this inline 6 at all. This is, if you're a driver and you really prioritize drive dynamics and just experience, especially the sound, you're going to want to get into this M40i for sure. So let's check out the passing power right now. We're doing 92 kilometers an hour. Great pull. Just, that's what I love about this engine. Torque is basically comes on just over 1500 RPM, but the power band is so linear and it goes on so far. It just makes it really easy to drive. You know, there are sportier compact SUVs, but I think this is like the Goldilocks for sure. You know, you're even though this rides low, a little low, you know, that we mentioned, you still sit up fairly high. So people that want that overview of an SUV, you still get that. You know, you kind of get the best of all worlds. Yeah. Now I love that M240i that we tested, of course, but wouldn't work for the family. Need 4 doors, need a little bit more utility. So this could be a really good compromise, let's just say. the M40i is also equipped with a mild hybrid 48-volt system. So do you even notice it? Not really, and that's what it's kind of meant for, is that when you do the auto start stop, you're stopped at a light and things, it just makes the transition a little bit more seamless. Yeah, it's you really don't notice it, but it's there. Oh yeah, if you want to change your own gears, you do have paddle shifters here. But this does shift very, very well in automatic and stuff, especially in Sport Plus mode. It's very proactive on the downshifts when you're braking hard. All variants of the X3 come with their xDrive all-wheel drive system. In the US though, you can get an xDrive in just the 4-cylinder. In Canada, we don't get that option. It's all xDrive. And what's nice, and you would expect this from BMW, is that their all-wheel drive system is a rear bias system. So you are mainly always driving those rear wheels, just giving you better driving dynamics. And those fronts are going to kick in when it needs it. Better traction, better handling. BMWs are cars for drivers, for sure. They always have been. Great driving dynamics, but sometimes you just don't feel like driving or you're stuck in traffic, and that's where this one is equipped with the advanced driving assistance package. It's a couple $1,000s, and it has some great features. Of course, you get lots of safety and advanced driving features. You get the lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring, you get the traffic jam assist. And so when you use, for instance, some of the assistant modes, if we go and we hit our cruise control here, and we're going to hit the cruise control. All right, so we are set right now, and we can change our different modes. We have assisted driving, so we have a green steering wheel, and this will actually steer for us. There we go. All right, but it wants me to put my hands back on the wheel. It's not a fully autonomous system by any means, but it's nice for long trips or just real long monotonous highway drives. Now here's a really good feature though, is if you are driving under 40 miles an hour or 60 kilometers per hour and you have your assisted driving on, you'll get prompted, and you can select if you want where you can get an assisted plus. So you have to set it below those speeds, and at that point this thing will drive by itself. It will control your braking and your distance, of course, just like the regular assisted driving, but it will steer for you as it does in the assisted driving, but you don't even have to put your hands on the steering wheel, you know, like every 15, 20 seconds or something like that. You can just go and it'll just keep on driving for you, and it's great. It works really well. Perfect if you are always driving in that rush hour traffic, you know, at the end of the day or in the morning, and you can just go and you can set it and forget it, and it'll just crawl along right for you. Really, really nice feature. Handling wise, this X3 feels very, very light. Not only is the steering quite light, it might be even a little too light for my liking, but the vehicle feels really light and nimble. You can basically just really throw it into a corner. It does have some body roll. It is a taller vehicle, but you know, there has to be some compromise. The suspension, it's not super soft, but it's definitely not as hard as we tested the X3M a while back, and that thing pretty well rattled my feelings out. And yeah, it'd be great for a track, but for everyday drives, I would definitely not recommend it for everyday driving. This one does not have an adaptive suspension, but it's not needed either. So yeah, it's kind of like the Goldilocks. It's just right in the middle. It's really, really good. Brake wise, same thing. Great brakes on here. Lots of power, very easy to modulate for sure. So would I buy this vehicle? Well, if I was in the market for a compact performance SUV, this would definitely be at the top of the list. However, there is one caveat, and that is it doesn't come cheap. This starts at 68,000 Canadian dollars, by the way. And when you option it out with what we have here, so we have the optional paint and we have the different leather and the premium package enhanced, you are looking at $82,000. So that is not inexpensive by any means. And if you want to compare that, that is where the X5 starts. And for, you know, basically to have a decently equipped X5, you're gonna have to add on about another $5,000. But you are gonna get a lot more room in the X5, so that's one thing you have to factor in. But you're not gonna get as much performance still. The X5 doesn't have as much power, and it's got a lot more bulk to it, so it's not gonna handle the same or accelerate the same as what this is. So you just have to determine how much of the drive is important to you, and do you need the extra size. Well, that's it, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this review of the X3 M40i. Leave a comment below. Let me know, what do you think of this X3? Would you buy this, or would you opt for the 4-cylinder, which is a lot less money, but you're not going to get the same performance and drive as what you get from this? Anyways, hope to see you on the next review, and don't forget, hit that like button. See you later.